Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. And as you can see in the title, yes, another pickups video. I was gonna save this one for later, but I'm behind on videos and I gotta get these pickups out to you guys. I think you guys will really enjoy this one. Have a lot of games you guys probably haven't heard of, but I do have to say this. These are still pickups after the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I still haven't put that video out yet. I'm still working on it. Hopefully I'll get it out next week or the week after that, but we'll see. But anyways, we got a lot of cool games to go through for this video. I think you guys are going to be really pumped up and impressed with the games I talk about. So anyways, guys, let's get right into it. Alright, so here's Ray's Arcade Chronology. This consists of Ray Force, Ray Storm, Ray Crisis, and Ray Gears, which was an unreleased game. Ray Gears was supposed to be the second game in the series, and I guess Ray Storm beat it out. Now, we did get this collection in America somewhat, but it only included Ray Storm and Ray Crisis. Now, I don't know why this collection took so long to come out. You know, maybe they had some issues with Ray Gears trying to get that just right. But either way, I'm happy it's here. I tried out Ray Gears. It's only one level, but it's a good level. I thought it was going to be a full game, but still seeing what they canceled out, man, I thought they could have did something with this game. So, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if they're going to do anything with it now, but, you know, maybe we're getting a demo of it. But they could definitely make another Ray Crisis or Ray Series game out of this, I would say. But if you have a chance to get this collection, definitely pick it up. If you like vertical shooters with a little bit of twist, and the twist is the aiming system in this game. You have to make sure you aim at the enemies like on the bottom tier of the screen, like there'll be ships or missiles or whatever like that. You aim at them with your targeting system, and other enemies on the top, you just shoot them with your bullets. But once you get used to that, games are a lot of fun. I think the series is underrated. You know, I don't hear a lot of people talking about this series, but hopefully, if you're able to play this chronology, it'll be a gaming experience that you'll never forget. Alright, so here is A Quiet Place. This is a survival horror game that you play in first person, which I wish they would have just made it third person, but you know how it goes. But you play as a young woman who's experiencing the pandemic in the beginning stages, and you go throughout her life, at least from what I've seen so far, you know, like different stages of the whole pandemic with the aliens. I can't stand it. You can't really move around fast. And I understand the whole premise of the movies. You got to be quiet, and the same thing applies to the game. But I would love for it to be able to move around fast without like having an asthma attack. Your character has asthma, so that's a thing. Like if you take a couple steps fast, like that asthma meter goes up. So that's kind of annoying. But I could get past that, you know, in a survival horror way. You know, obviously you got to be quiet. You got to stay quiet. The game does complement the movie with the atmosphere, you know, how everything looks and just the people you deal with. I don't know. I feel like the game is pretty straightforward. You know, you're dealing with crazy people, you know, they're coming after you, and you're dealing with the monsters. So you have all of them coming at you, sometimes all at once, which can be pretty intense. But that's what this game wanted, and I think they got it down right. The only thing is, I just think that certain characters in this game got killed off way too quick, and you know, it's just like it just kind of killed some of the momentum for me. I was like, really? That's how that guy's gonna go out? Like seriously? Like in the dumbest way? And it's usually your character's fault. But I'm about halfway through the game, and you do get devices to kind of let you know if you're being loud or not, which brings down the tension, thankfully. But it also, like, the enemies, they're not randomly stalking you from how far I've gotten. They'll be at timed events that you get to, and then around those events, you'll have to kind of like try to get around them. I think it would have been way better if they had like maybe an enemy continually stalking you, kind of like how Mr. X does in Resident Evil 2 Remake. They worked with what they had, so I think it's pretty solid. But maybe I'll get further and notice some more stuff. But as of right now, you know, I feel like it's just more timed events. But definitely, I think the game is worth playing. And grab yourself a copy before Halloween. This is probably a good game to stream on Halloween night. Here is Iron Meat. This is an awesome run and gun shooter that is definitely a homage to the Contra games, at least the first 3 Contra games that I played. That'd be in Contra, Super Contra, Contra 3, and maybe even a little bit of Operation C. This is the closest game next to those ones, I would say. If you love those Contra games, you will definitely love Iron Meat. Graphically, as you can see, the game looks great, controls well, the sound is great. Boss battles, probably my favorite thing in this game, they are wild. To me, they're not too hard. I would say they're fair, but they have like, they will surprise you, so definitely you'll be impressed there. But just going through the levels in this game, you know, like I talk about this a lot with certain games I really like, but you know, sometimes you get into a game, you're only going to play for a little bit, but this is the type of game that you'll play all the way through almost. The only reason I didn't finish this game just yet, I got to the 4th or 5th level as of this video, is that I had to repair this toy pinball machine I got, which I'll probably show in another video. But I was working on that. Thankfully, I got it working. But I will get back into this game. But man, if you haven't played Iron Meat, like seriously, guys, it is a must play. You know, I know we all enjoyed Blazing Chrome when that came out, but this game just like, I think it blows that one out of the water, and that's probably gonna start some arguments. But definitely try out Iron Meat. It's out on the Switch, PS4, PS5, and probably other systems. Alright, so Tomb Raider Remastered. This includes Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3. 2 being my favorite. Now, I've talked about this in my Evercade video. They had a release of the Tomb Raider games. But this remaster is pretty cool because obviously it has upgraded graphics. But what really impressed me is that with a push of a button, you can switch back to the old graphics at any time. Not only that, but it has the expansions to Tomb Raider 3. And I think Tomb Raider 1 and Tomb Raider 2 might have had an expansion on PC. Like, I forgot what they were called, but I know for sure 3 has one, and they're all included on here. So that's very cool, because I always wanted to try those Tomb Raider expansions out, but, you know, years later, I don't know if I really will. But, you know, still, it's nice to know it's finally there on one disc. Now, I know a lot of people are fans of the original Tomb Raider trilogy, and that's great, but I always thought the Legend series was the best series. I mean, the controls in those games were great. And, you know, coming back and playing tank controls for an adventure game, I know there are a lot of you that are hardcore out there, but man, you know, it's just like, I'd rather have the Legend series. But this is still cool because now you can actually see a lot of the graphics in the game, like, better, obviously. Because, like, if you guys remember Tomb Raider 2, and hopefully some of the hardcore fans are in here, the floating island level was one of the most difficult levels in the game for me. I hated that level so much, and I had to save so much to protect my progress. Now I can see what's going on, and it seems like the level will be a lot easier in this version. But for those of you who want to play the original trilogy or original games, this is definitely the best way to play them now. This is the way they should have been, and this is the way they are. Now, when it comes to like first-person view in horror games, I'm kind of tired of that, obviously, as you can tell. But you know, some games have potential. I'm not sure about this one because it seems like you're playing. I don't know. It's like you're playing the experience of his character, and then like if you mess up on certain parts, you go back to these scenes where you're getting tortured, and every time you go back to the scene, it gets worse. So it's very confusing in the beginning. There's a puzzle to get out of the restroom, which is the bathroom, which was kind of annoying to me. You know, I don't like being stuck in a room, locked doors, whatever like that in the beginning of the game, but it's just something you got to get used to. I don't think the game is very long. I did get it on sale. I think it was like 15 bucks. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll have a good experience with it. I'm going to try to beat it before Halloween. But if you guys have played this one, let me know what you think. NASCAR Arcade Rush. This game was a total surprise, and I only found out about it because my buddy Ron picked up the PS5 copy on the cheap. So I looked this one up, and it ended up being for PS4 and Switch, and they were on sale, so I picked both of them up. Now, if you like kart racing games, of course, you know, Sonic All-Star Racing, Mario Kart, things like that, you could definitely get into this one. But on the competition part, you don't like throw items to like mess up your enemies. You just really just race and try to get to the finish line before everybody else. So there's no like mischievous like attacks against each other. Not only are you racing on the legendary tracks, if you guys have seen in the real races, you have track abilities that help you stay in the race. Like there's like speed bumps that'll give you a boost, you know, in the race, and they'll build up your own boost gauge so you can boost during the race at any time. So you kind of use it like strategically, I would say. Not really strategically, you know, obviously you use it when you need it. And the game has online, even though I didn't find too many people playing it online. Well, when I did catch a race, it was fun. And also this game shows that Game Mill is actually picking up some decent titles. You know, I've talked about the Karate Kid in my last video, how I like that one. And now I'm finding out about this one. So Game Mill might be fixing their reputation, you know, on bad games. You know, they might be putting out some decent ones now. So anyways, guys, NASCAR Arcade Rush, definitely a game you might want to check out. Here's Dungeon Explorer 2 for the Turbo Duo. So I talked about the first game on the Sega CD a couple years ago, and these games are like gauntlet type games. And I remember the Sega CD one, I believe that could play up to 4 players. The sequel could play up to 5 players if you have the Turbo Tap. All I can tell you guys about this one is that this game is like, the presentation in this game is actually really good. The voice acting, the storytelling. I mean, you could tell like they were trying to make this work. I mean, the English voice actors, they kind of remind me of the same people who did the Lunar games. They probably are the same people. But man, I see why this game is so expensive. So it probably didn't really sell well. But man, those who got it, man, they were in for a treat. And I think you guys will be too if you try this one out. Here's slavezero X. So this is an action beat 'em up that plays similar to like a side-scrolling Devil May Cry game. So if you used to Devil May Cry, obviously with the combinations and all that stuff, you'll feel right at home with this one. This is more just a side-scrolling one. You can't just go in mashing the buttons though. You have to really like, some enemies you can, but some enemies, they have certain defenses that you have to like counter and be careful of. The game keeps it fresh, and you get upgrades as well to help your armor. Man, this game is crazy because like they actually, I guess whoever made this bought the rights to slavezero. The original game was on Dreamcast and the PC. This game plays totally different than that one, which is hilarious. But they did market it as a prequel. Definitely, I would say check this one out if you're interested in like action beat 'em ups.
Sovkhan and his calamities, they're all going to pay.
You can't hide from me, little devil.
I'm not coming back until it's finished.
Joe! What have you done?
Shut that.
You started something tonight that's gonna affect a lot more people than you. And they've been watching you.
They're afraid.
No, they want to see if someone can kill a calamity. Dead.
I like your style. I think I'll take it.
Alright, so here is Astergos Deluxe Edition. Subtitle Curse of the Stars. Now, I only bought this game because it was on the cheap. I wasn't really sure what I was getting into with this one. It looks interesting, and I'm surprised I never heard of it because I think I pretty much keep up with all PS5 releases, but you know, I guess I missed a couple. But as you're seeing the gameplay here, I think this one might be all right. I'm hoping it will be, but I'll find out pretty soon. But hopefully you guys can give me some tips in the comments if this one's worth playing. But from the looks of it, I think I might enjoy it. So I'll let you guys know in the future. Maybe I'll do a review on it or something. Here's Bonkers for Super Nintendo. I don't know if you guys remember the cartoon that came on back in the day. I think it lasted one season. I never could catch it because it came on the same time another cartoon I used to watch. Came out during the era of when Capcom was doing awesome platform games. I mean, back in the day, like Capcom like had these games on lock. Now, if you played Disney's The Magical Quest, it's very similar to those games, but you have this running mechanic, kind of like the same as Buster Bust Loose, and you use that to kind of get you platform around and attack enemies. This so far is a solid game, and I'm glad it's on the cheap. This game actually only costs around 20 bucks, so if you like what you're seeing here, you might want to try this one out. Alright, so here is Tales of Versus. So Got this thanks to my buddy John Houston. He was in Vegas recently, and he picked up some games for me at Retro City Games, which is probably one of the best game stores in the world, at least in my opinion. He found these games for me. This is one of two. And this plays more like a Super Smash Bros. Games. It has like the best characters from all the Tales games into like a Battle Royale, so pretty fun. The one game I was really happy about at the store was Grand Knight's History. So this was originally supposed to come out to the PSP in America, and this is done by our friends at Vanillaware. And this game had pretty strong sales in Japan, so you would think it would come to America, but I don't know what happened. There was some kind of falling out, and the game got shelved. And I was very disappointed because I felt like this is one of the last really strong PSP games out there. Now, this is a turn-based RPG that actually used to be online. You could play against other people, but of course, the online service is shut down, I think, around 2012, 13. But this game would have been the perfect swan song for the PSP to kind of like see its way out before the Vita came in. But fortunately, we didn't get it. But if you like somewhat strategy RPGs, I would say this is more of a turn-based RPG as you're seeing here. With some fast action, I think you'll want to try this one out. You can download this one online. But of course, if you get the physical, it's going to be Japanese only. But I got it just for the novelty. So here's Juiced for the PS2. So I've always wanted to try this game, and now that I've gotten to more racing games for the PS2 era, like Street Racing Syndicate, you know, I said, let me go back and look at some of these other games too. And the first thing I saw in this game that was a throwback to me was seeing the cell phones, you know, the old school flip phones. I thought that was pretty hilarious that this game was kind of promoting those. But this game used to be online, and I'm not sure if it was really popular back in the day, but it still looks decent enough to really be a solid game. So hoping that this one is going to really appeal to me. I'm pretty sure it will because I just like the old school stuff. But yeah, if you guys have played this one, let me know in the comments how you feel about it. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Lots of pickups this week. Well, this is not even like a quarter of them, so I got to get that video out sometime pretty soon. But hope you enjoyed what I put out here. This weekend, I will be at the Torg Gaming Expo. I was there a couple years ago, had a great time, and me and Jason are excited to go this year. So I hope to see some of you guys there. Probably pick up some more stuff while I'm down there. Jeez, man. But I got to take advantage of it, like going out of town, because, you know, like seeing some of the different stuff these states has is really nice. You know, like sometimes you just won't see stuff that you'll see over here and like in Portland and the Game On Expo. So hope to see you guys there. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you in this video, the radical one, and I will see you all later.